Hey babes, my name is Lila and I am the Lavender Moon Oracle. Welcome to your reading for the month of May. In Gaelic tradition, Beltane, celebrated on May 1st, is the halfway point between the spring equinox and the summer solstice. This is a time of fertility and abundance in anticipation of the full flourishing of summer. So the card that I pulled for the collective is the Ten of Feathers or the Ten of Swords. So what comes to mind is the phrase "April showers bring May flowers." April was a huge portal for us stepping into a whole new world, a whole new life, especially with those two Aries moon and the Aries solar eclipse. Yes, definitely stepping through a portal, transforming ourselves, shedding our old skin. And I feel like there's definitely some growing pains right now where maybe some of that skin is still stuck to us. It's flaky, crispy, but it's unveiling a whole new shiny skin underneath. Um, this is taking off the mask and showing our true, authentic self. Um, and moving out of a time of great pain and discomfort. Um, so that's what I have for the collective. Now, for your zodiac readings, we will be getting you a card out of the Season of the Witch Beltane Oracle, which I'm so excited about. I love using this deck. And I can only use it this time of year, so it's very exciting for me. It's very fresh. Love this deck. Then we will be using the Spirit Song Tarot to get into a modified Celtic Cross with two additional cards. That is going to be your hindering card and your helping card. These are advice cards showing a general way that you should and shouldn't do things, basically. And then we are going to close out your reading with a self care card to see how you can give the best love and care to yourself this time. Please remember that this is a general reading, not a one-on-one reading, so take the messages that resonate and leave the rest. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, my link is going to be below. Okay, babes, I will see you in your zodiac reading. Hey, Gemini, and happy birthday if you're a May Gemini. I'd like to take this moment to thank your guides for being here, helping me to connect with the collective of Gemini, bringing forward clear messages for your highest and greatest good and for the highest and greatest good of all. So, I've already laid out all your cards and we're just going to dive right in. So, starting with the stone circle, your oracle message. And it says, "In ceremony, you conjure a devotion so deeply it reflects thy worship into yourself." So, Gemini, it's time to slow down. And don't go. No, that might not be the message that Gemini wants to hear, but it is time. You have been living at too fast of a pace, and it is time to slow down and appreciate the little things in life, appreciate the little rituals and ceremony and the small magics of everyday living, and slowing down so you can figure out what your intentions are, what you want to put into your ceremony, um, and bringing it together in culmination and devotion to manifest all that you desire. So, getting into your tarot, we have your card, Gemini, which is the Lovers, but it's in the reverse. So, what's going on? We have the Queen of Crystals or the Queen of Pentacles crossing you. Now, we could take this in a very literal way, which is disharmony in a love relationship or a partnership, or just any close relationship having a falling out. But we could also take it in a more metaphorical sense, which is what I tend to in my readings. I'm not really a love reading kind of guy, but yeah, so the Lovers reverse could be about self love, it could be about choosing yourself. The Lovers is a choice, and bringing together two forces to create one love and one union. And this could be the dynamics of yourself. Um, your masculine, feminine, your yin yang, all that stuff. The twins, the two aspects of Gemini. So with the lovers being crossed by the Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Crystals, um, I would say that you are being asked at this time to show devotion to yourself, like mentioned in your oracle card, um, and yeah, slowing down with your daily devotions. A lot more of what I said in the oracle card. The queen is very nurturing. She takes care of her people. She has a close knit circle who she is devoted to. She slowly cultivates her prosperity. She has a very comfortable, luxurious lifestyle, very much in the air of Taurus, where we're at right now. Yeah, I see in your reading is hugely influenced by Taurus and Mercury retrograde in Taurus, and we're going to get into that. Um, but yeah, you are definitely being directed to slow down and nurture your environment. So, Gemini, in your past energy, you have the Traveler, which is the Fool in this deck. So, this is your young, enthusiastic energy jumping into the next great adventure. And that makes total sense. We're in an eclipse portal. There's a whole bunch of new initial energy coming in. There's all the potential for the future. You might be going about it in a way that's a little bit naive, and maybe a little fast, a little bit reckless, which is why you're being asked now to slow down. So that makes sense. In your future, where you're stepping into, we have the Five of Acorns reversed, or the Five of Wands reversed. So we could take this again one of two ways. It seems to be a pattern with this reading, Gemini. But yeah, so you could either be resolving conflict, or you could be avoiding conflict. You could be finding solutions to grow, to overcoming challenges, or this could be the energy of, avoiding conflict, pushing things off till they blow up, or being intimidated by your competition. Ooh, that's really big with Five of Wands reverse. Being intimidated by competition, which would really make sense, I think, because above you in your crowning energy, what you're aware of at this time, what is currently illuminated, is the Strength reversed. So this is a little bit of self-doubt, Gemini. This is, a lack of courage, a lack of belief in oneself to step up to the plate, which would make sense if in the future you're backing down from challenges, if you're afraid of the competition. Um, but yeah, Gemini, you are aware at this time um, that you need to keep pushing and push through this fear, and find the strength to overcome your limitations and challenges. Um, and what is below you at this time, what you might not be aware of, is the Hermit reverse. So the Hermit reverse speaks to isolation, maybe self isolation. And so the picture that I'm getting here, the general picture is feeling out of harmony with the people around you, needing to focus on self, but kind of avoiding the self care, avoiding looking at these things because you're afraid. Um, yeah, so maybe you've been living on fast mode, so you didn't have to look at your own self doubt and how you're holding yourself back because you're afraid that you're not going to be able to compete with everyone else. But why is it a competition, Gemini? It's a good question. Um, so yeah, and Hermit Reverse speaks to a sense of loneliness. So even if you have a lot of people in your life to support you, or if you don't, there is a sense of loneliness, a sense of being an outsider, a sense of people not understanding you, maybe. Um, and yeah, Gemini. Okay, so Gemini, the card that represents you and where you are right now is the Nine of Acorns. That makes sense. You're battle weary. You've been through a lot, and you're kind of hesitant to take on the challenge that you know is ahead of you. Um, you're pretty worn down, but you have the power, you have the persistence to keep pushing through this, um, and you can tap into that inner strength. And maybe right now you're feeling this doubt, but I think that your true self knows that you have the strength and you have the power to overcome whatever obstacles lie ahead for you. Because, and Gemini, I think it's really interesting that I'm drinking this tea and that I made this tea right before this reading because, yeah, slow down, enjoy the daily rituals. That's the tea for me. I never make myself tea. And when I do, I always just like am so reverent of it and so appreciative. And I'm just like, ooh, I got my little tea, I got my little drink. Um, and yeah, totally relate to this energy. I don't really have any Gemini, but I see this. Um, but yeah, so in your environment, sorry, Gemini, why do you keep distracting me? Um, so in your environment, Gemini, you have the Ace of Crystals. Yeah, and I don't remember if I noted it before, but this reading, I feel like this relates back to the Aries energy because you have the Queen of Crystals crossing you and the Ace of Crystals in the environment, which is the exact same positions that it was in for Aries. And like, I've done other readings between now and then, and like I've shuffled these cards so many times and they came out in the exact same position. So that's pretty crazy to me. But there is an opportunity in your environment. There is an opportunity for something real, something solid, something stable. And yeah, I feel like you're trying to manifest this, and whatever you've been trying to manifest is taking form in your environment. And I feel like you have to slow down so you can see it. Oh my gosh, yes. You have to slow down so you can see that your manifestation is appearing in your environment. That like it's around you. You just have to notice it, and you have to take this opportunity and run with it. Well, don't run with it. Maybe like a stroll with it, like walk with it. Walk with it solidly and gently. Don't run too fast. Okay. So, Gemini, in your hopes and fears, you have the Ace of Shells or the Ace of Cups. This is love. And expression of love and happiness, abundance, beauty, all the good stuff. Which is interesting with the lovers being in the reverse. So, you're hoping for love. You might also be scared of love and what that actually means and what being in love actually is. And I don't mean that in a romantic sense. I mean being in the state of love, in the state of being love, and choosing to be love. Um, so, in your final outcome, Gemini, we have the Queen of Feathers. So, yeah, very much your energy, discerning, um, speaker of truth. She listens to others' perspectives, but is able to perceive her own truth and her own reality with a good sense of humor, not in a way that she can be harsh, she can be blunt, but she is not without reason, not without tact. So yeah, that's the Celtic cross, and then you're helping in your hindering card. So, what is going to hinder you at this time? And this is usually actions to avoid, but I have kind of a different interpretation for what's going on here. So, your hindering energy is the Wheel of Fortune reversed. So, you can't really avoid that. Um, you can't avoid fate, you can't avoid misfortune. Um, but I think that the advice would be to not focus on this, to not focus on the ways that things are going wrong. And instead, your helping energy is the Queen of Shells. So instead of focusing on not everything, but how things are going wrong in your life, and the misfortune that you're experiencing, focusing instead on your peace, nurturing your own heart, um, nurturing yourself, focusing on your own cup, being in this state of love, having compassion. And it's hard to have compassion sometimes when everything's turned on its head and it seems chaotic and you're out of harmony because the lovers is reversed, and you're feeling lonely because the hermit is reversed, and you're lacking um, lacking courage and feeling this sense of self doubt. Have compassion for yourself, Gemini. Love yourself. Give to yourself. Give to your own cup. And we have three queens here. So beautiful feminine energy coming through for you, Gemini. And yeah, these queens are asking you to nurture and nourish your divine feminine. And speaking of nourishing, your self care card, to close out your reading, we have sweet treats. So, indulging in some sweet treats that are going to bring you joy, and maybe give you a little boost of that dopamine, some of the good chemicals flowing in your brain, because you got some really rough energies that you're working through this May. But yeah, make sure to take time to indulge in delicious treats for yourself, and be as decadent as possible this May, with the Queen of Crystals crossing you. And yeah, that's what I have for you, Gemini. So I really hope that you enjoyed this reading, and that you were able to follow it, because I was really feeling that Gemini energy and I was a little bit all over the place. But I hope you appreciated it. So if you did, please like this video and leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. Let me know how this resonated. If anything clicked for you, I hope it made sense. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this. I really appreciate any interaction that you can give this video, to help me grow and cultivate this space. So thank you so much, Gemini, and I'll see you in the next reading.